Hey everybody. I was working on a mix recently and I came across a situation and I thought, you know what, this would be a really good situation to share with you and show you what I did. So this is a track by an artist named Jerry Skrills. I just finished mixing his whole record and this track is called Surf Gang. There will be a link in this video for you to go to his iTunes page or this album page and buy this song or buy this music. So the part that we're going to be working on today is the hook, and he's got a couple features on here, and the features are Geek and Wolf, and both these guys are also very talented, and their parts kind of clashed a little bit, but I'm really happy with the end product here. They completely work together, I think. So what I want to do today is I want to play this for you. You can hear the end product, then I'll play what we started out at with the hook, well, their vocals in the hook. And I'll kind of walk you through the process of how I got both of these feature artist vocals to play well together in this hook and pre-hook. So here it is, Surf Gang.
Yeah, I got the streets on my mind. Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the struggle day to day. Thankful to the Lord, I hear my knees in prayer.
Our Father who art in heaven,
show him it's a better way. I live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the struggle day to day. Thankful to the Lord, I hear my knees in prayer. Show them it's a better way.
Up all night, gotta pen these writtens. Eyes on the price, so I'll push these lit.
So we're just going to be looking at the hook and basically the vocals in the hook. Again, the two artists, Geek, he's up here in the yellow and the green, and Wolf is in the blue and this other kind of different shade of green. All right. Let me just solo up the vocals.
I got the streets on my mind. Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the struggle day to day. Thankful to the Lord, I hear my knees in prayer.
Our Father who art in heaven,
show him it's a better way. I live these streets.
Okay. So let's bypass all the plugins, all of the effects sends, and just kind of hear the vocals as they were originally recorded. Now, there's some automation on these, so I have to actually deactivate a couple of those. I better do the same to these.
Yeah.
I got the streets on my mind.
Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the struggle day to day. Thankful to the Lord, I hear my knees in prayer.
Our Father who art in heaven,
show him it's a better way. I live these streets.
So, yeah, you can hear kind of my dilemma. When I heard this first, I just didn't know how I was going to get them to really stick together and play nice together. They're good parts individually, but together they're a little difficult. What I decided to do was make Geek kind of the main focus and kind of treat his vocal a little more like the lead, and then kind of build Wolf in around him with effects and then a lot of filtering. So check out Geek. Let's just see what we did on this guy.
Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day.
So first off, there was just a little bit of ringing there at 313 hertz. Dropped that guy out. Gave him a little bit of fatso, really as more of compression and maybe just a little saturation in there.
Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the struggle day to day.
Cool. And then we pulled up a little bit of Neve 88RS. A little bit more compression happening here.
Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the struggle day to day.
So a little more compression happening. I'm also really pushing the mic preamp and the channel fader on the Neve just to kind of give it a little more saturation. And we're getting a little dynamic control, a little natural dynamic control. Got a little bit of EQ just to kind of give him a little bit more sparkle. Work on some of the frequencies that he was kind of missing right in there around 570, and added a little bit right around, actually took a little bit out right around 1K. And then we gave him just a little bit of de-essing.
Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day.
Cool. Through our reverb, the echo we've got, and a little stereo widening I call Haas effect. And this is what we ended up with for Geek.
Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the struggle day to day. Thankful to the Lord, I hit my knees and pray.
Cool, so that gives him a nice little space. He's up front, he's present. You know, he's pretty much commanding control of this section, this pre-hook and this hook. Then for Wolf, Wolf, I thought this is kind of a cool part. Rhythmically, it's a little different. So I thought, man, how can we spread this out left and right? I mean, I tried, putting a little short delay on it and panning them left and right, and it just didn't work out. So I ended up filtering it out quite a bit, filtering out a lot of the highs and the lows, and putting a pretty extensive stereo delay on here. So check it out. Let's dive into there and let's see what we got.
I got the streets on my mind. I got the streets on my mind. Got the streets on my mind. The streets on my mind, my mind.
And one thing I did run into also with this part is the very end of some of these words, he kind of loses the intensity very quickly. So there's a really steep drop off. So first off, we threw a little de-essing on there. Actually, quite a bit of de-essing, I think.
I got the streets on my mind. I got the streets on my mind.
And I believe I came back to the de-esser after I had gotten some more things happening here. There's like 3 de-essers on here because he was pretty sibilant, and then you'll see we're adding a lot of distortion and some filtering later on. So next, it really just needed some compression to help even out the level in his voice. So we've got an 1176 on here, set to pretty fast attack, fast release. Let's take a listen.
I got the streets on my mind. Got the streets on my mind. The streets on my mind, my mind.
Cool. Here's bypassed.
I got the streets on my mind. Got the streets on my mind. The streets on my mind, my mind.
And I really like the 1176 here because of the ultra fast attack and release. He's got a pretty dynamically fast part. He gets loud quick and then he gets quiet quick. So the fast attack and release of the 1176 really helps kind of meld that together. Next, we threw him through an 88RS. Again, pushing up the mic level a little bit just right before it overloads to give him a little bit more saturation, and adding a little more saturation with pushing up the output fader too. Filtering off the top end, anything over 9.5K, under 300 hertz as well, and giving him a little bit of top end, actually quite a bit, over 1.5K. Here, let's let you listen to it.
I got the streets on my mind. Got the streets on my mind. The streets on my mind, my mind. I got the streets on my mind.
Cool. It's starting to get rid of that boxy sound. All right. Next, we have another de-esser, because as we boosted those high frequencies, he started getting a little sibilant again. So I got another de-esser, and this one's set up pretty close to my last one. I think it's actually the exact same settings, just a slightly different threshold. So here's what's happening.
I got the streets on my mind. Got the streets on my mind.
Just taking out some of those S sounds. And there's another de-esser after that. And that one's set to wideband. So these other ones have been just turning down the highs. This one is set to turn everything down when the highs are too loud. When the S sounds are too loud, it turns the whole signal down.
I got the streets on my mind. Got the streets on my mind.
Cool. And then next we've got Deviloc, which is kind of a distortion, kind of saturation distortion thing from Sound Toys. Pushed up the crunch to 2. Check it out. This thing's pretty cool. It adds quite a bit of presence and a nice little crunch to it.
I got the streets on my mind. Got the streets on my mind. I got the streets on my mind. Got the streets on my mind. The streets on my mind, my mind.
Cool, nice little. Now it's really starting to get a little bit out there, a little bit less real, and that's kind of what I'm going for. A totally different tone and palette than we used for Geek.
I got.
All right, let's see how they're shaping up.
I got the streets on my mind.
Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day.
I got the streets
I
on my
love
mind.
these streets, I see the struggle day to day. Thankful to the Lord, I hit my knees and pray. Show them it's a better way. I live.
Cool, so it's still not quite coming out the way that I had wanted it. So I added a little filter. We've got this nice little Moog filter. So as you can see on this guy, it's a bandpass filter, and it's set maybe around 1K-ish, between 1 and 2K. And now this really changes the tone.
I got the streets on my mind.
Live these streets, I'm in.
Bypass it for you.
I got the streets on my mind. I got the streets on my mind.
Live these streets.
Oh yeah, now it's starting to get a totally different tone. It's starting to get really nice. This is where I thought, okay, now it's time to spread this out. Now it's time to really give it a nice stereo feel, and I ended up doing that with an Echoboy from Sound Toys. Quarter note on the left, eighth note dotted on the right. The mix is up, what do we got? 27%. A little bit of low cut. We're already cutting a lot of that stuff there. So, back here in the Moog filter. So yeah, this just really helped spread the vocal out to the left and right sides. So check it out.
I got the streets on my mind.
Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the struggle.
Yeah, you can really hear it going when I hit stop. That one's awesome. I love this effect. And to make things a little bit wider, just grab MicroShift and turned it up to, what do we got, 20-something% here.
I got the streets on my mind.
Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the.
And added a little bit of reverb to that. Just a standard reverb that I've got most of the vocals going to.
I got the streets on my mind.
Live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the struggle day to day. Thankful to the Lord, I hit my knees and pray. Show them it's a better way. I live these streets, I'm in these streets like every day. I love these streets, I see the struggle day to day. Thankful to the Lord, I hit my knees and pray.
these writtens, eyes on the
All right, and then we just had a couple ad libs from Wolf, and I think I just kind of gave those sort of the same initial treatment with the old 88RS, and then just a little de-esser on there. So I hope that that's given you guys maybe something to try in your mixes. Happy mixing,